Hello, my name is Paige Kipke, and for my Texas Pros and Cons project, I decided to research abortion rights. As one of the most restrictive states in the country, Texas has taken a firm stance, especially following the overturning of Roe v. Wade. In this presentation, I've researched the pros and cons of Texas's abortion laws, specifically examining both the pro-life and pro-choice perspectives that shape this ongoing debate. First, talking about the benefits of living in Texas when thinking about abortion. Supporters of Texas's abortion restrictions often identify as pro-life, guided by the belief that human life begins at conception and should be protected from that moment forward. For many, this belief is grounded in deeply held religious and moral convictions. Bible verses like John 10:10, which emphasizes the sanctity of life, are frequently cited to affirm this stance. From this perspective, Texas is seen as a leader in protecting the unborn. The state has implemented conditional laws that ban nearly all abortions and emphasize that in rare life-threatening circumstances, doctors must still attempt to preserve both the mother's and the fetus's life whenever possible. Pro-life politicians, like Governor Greg Abbott, have championed these efforts. He has signed laws that ban mail-ordered abortion drugs, prohibit abortion following fetal heartbeat detection, and has allocated well over $100 million to programs like Alternatives to Abortion. Abbott has proudly declared Texas as a pro-life state and credits these policies with saving thousands of unborn lives. Pro-life advocates also argue that affirming the value of unborn life aligns with Texas's broader conservative values. In local communities, activists are even working to outlaw abortion-related travel and promote ordinances that define life as beginning at fertilization, including embryos created through IVF. Now talking about the drawbacks of living in Texas when thinking about abortion. On the other side of the debate are those who advocate for reproductive rights and bodily autonomy. Since the near total ban on abortion went into effect in Texas in 2022, concerns have grown over the lack of access to essential reproductive health care, especially for victims of rape, incest, or those facing dangerous pregnancies. Texas law includes a narrow exception for medical emergencies, but the language is incredibly vague and doesn't clearly define what counts as a, quote, substantial impairment of a major bodily function. This legal uncertainty has led many doctors to delay or deny care for fear of prosecution. Patients have reported being turned away or treated too late because providers are unsure how to comply with the law. SB 8, or Senate Bill 8, one of the state's most controversial laws, banned abortion just after 6 weeks and introduced a unique enforcement mechanism, which empowers private citizens to sue anyone who aids or abets any abortion with the promise of a $10,000 reward. This has intensified confusion, discouraged medical intervention, and increased fear among healthcare providers. These laws also disproportionately affect marginalized communities, particularly low-income women and those in rural areas. With many clinics now closed, the average travel distance to access an abortion has skyrocketed from 17 miles to 247 miles. For many, this means taking unpaid time off of work, arranging childcare, covering travel and lodging costs just to reach another state like Louisiana or Oklahoma, where many visits may also be required. Finally, the stigma surrounding abortion in Texas is exacerbated by widespread misinformation and lack of resources, leaving many women isolated in their decisions. For pro-choice advocates, these laws represent a serious infringement on health rights, personal autonomy, and social equality. These are the articles and pieces that I referenced to get my research. Thank you for listening. Bye.